Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Heronbrook Farm Kitchen. It is fantastic to have you here as always, and today we're going to be making English fruit loaf. One of our absolute favourites, a real tea time treat. Here it is, still slightly warm from the oven. It's been out of the oven about an hour. If we just cut in here, you can take a look at that. Packed with fruit, lovely flavour from the tea. We use Earl Grey, and absolutely delicious with some butter, which is how we like it, or a slice of cheese. So, it's a quick one today. The video itself, I'm hoping to keep to under 5 minutes. And the process itself, it takes literally 20 minutes to mix all of the ingredients together, an hour in the oven, an hour to cool, and you're eating this delicious loaf. So let's jump in. Okay, so let's rattle through the ingredients. Again, it looks like there's quite a lot here. It's actually not too many. You are going to need 225 grams of self-raising flour and 225 grams of sultanas, or raisins, or any other soft fruit that you can get. You're going to need 2 tea bags. We like to use Earl Grey tea because we're British, but any tea, a more flavourful tea, just gives a little bit of extra bite to it. You're going to need some demerara sugar, 60 grams, some caster sugar, another 60 grams, 1 egg, which we'll beat, 45 grams of whole milk, which is not very much, the zest of a lemon, and 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of runny honey. So those are the ingredients. Let me show you how we combine them. Okay, so 3 or 4 hours ago, I put the raisins in a bowl along with the tea bags and 160 ml of boiling water. And then I just covered them with some cling film and I put them to one side. And what that does is it all plumps up the fruit and makes it lovely. You want to get a really big mixing bowl and then just tip all of that fruit and any extra liquid in, and very important not to forget to remove the tea bags, just get rid of any sultanas that got stuck to them. So then what I like to do is to go into that with the sugar, both sugars, and the zest of the lemon. So we're going to use a little microplane grater and literally just zest the lemon straight on top. And obviously you only want the zest, you don't want to go into the white pith because that can make it bitter. Get rid of that. We're then going to go in with the egg, and before the egg goes in we're just going to beat it. Doesn't have to be super combined, just beat it up in the thing with a little whisk or a teaspoon. Get that in there, all those wet ingredients, get rid of that. And then we'll go in with the honey. As you know, we tend to weigh everything here. It's 2 tablespoons of honey. We're going to go with brand new honey, need to get the top off there. We're going to go in with 30 grams of honey, straight in like that, which will just give it a really nice soft sweetness, and then in with the milk. Don't need the scale anymore, get rid of that. So then with all of the ingredients in apart from the flour, just using a wooden spoon or a plastic equivalent of a wooden spoon, I like to give it a bit of a mix up and just get everything combined together. Looks a bit messy. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's a pretty gloopy mixture. And then what we do, let's get that out of the way for a moment, is I like to sieve the flour. So just stick a sieve on, whack the flour straight into the sieve, and just sieve that over the top. Doesn't take too long. There we go, give it a bash. That's all done. And then using something like a spatula or a spatula, you want to just gently combine the flour into your wet mixture. You don't have to fold it in, it is just going to be stirred in. It's relatively easy. You do just want to make sure that you keep scraping down the sides of the bowl and you get quite a soft, doughy mixture in the end. You can probably hear that the oven's on, so we've been preheating the oven for about the last 10 minutes to 160 degrees, and as per usual, once we put the loaf in, we'll turn that oven down. So there you go, that's it, all nicely combined, ready to go into the tin. So we've got a fairly standard size loaf tin here. What we do, and again I did this a couple of hours ago, you can do it immediately or you can do it a while ago to suit you, is I just grease around with some butter, put some flour in, give it a shake over the bin, get all of the sides coated, and then I just stick it in the fridge, and it sits in the fridge until we're ready to use it. So all there is to do now is literally scrape this gloopy mixture here, which does get a bit messy, straight into the loaf tin. I'm still using my trusty spatula, but any tool or implement that you have to hand will do the job. Get those last bits out. And I'll just scrape round with a spatula just to make sure I've got every bit of goodness in there. In we go like that. And then just roughly, it will settle in the oven, just roughly flatten the top, and if you follow what I'm doing, you'll end up with something that looks like that. It is going to puff up in the oven, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. No waiting time, I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to stick that straight in the oven. Straight into the middle of the oven, and as soon as it goes in, we're going to turn it down to 145 degrees. And that's it, it's going to sit there for 1 hour and then it'll be done, we can get it out and take a look. Okay, time has gone off, it's been in there an hour, let's get it out. Look at that, beautiful. So there we go, just need to turn it out onto the cooling rack. It's a little bit soft at the moment, but as you can see, absolutely beautiful. Slightly crusty on the top. Can't wait to get started. So this just literally needs to cool for an hour and then you can slice it. And as we said earlier, absolutely delicious, slightly warm with a little bit of butter. Wonderful. I've really enjoyed making this with you today. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you have, hit subscribe, hit like, leave us some comments, questions, whatever. Do leave us some suggestions for other things that you'd like us to make on the channel. Absolutely fantastic being with you today. Have a great rest of your day and we'll see you on the next one.